Once again, this is a video that's different than the rest of my normal content, but I believe I've stated before that I will be making different kind of content from now on, maybe animations here and there, but it is paused for a while. This video is going to be talking about Corpse Husband. If you don't know who Corpse Husband is, he was a popular YouTuber who has recently gained a lot more fame from his music, horror story narrating, and famous Among Us playthroughs with popular YouTubers like PewDiePie and Jacksepticeye. Something that really sticks out about Corpse is the fact that he has a very substantially deep voice due to some health conditions as well as just being him. He has a naturally very deep voice. Honestly, I like his music. My favorite is White Tea, and I listen to pretty much most of his songs, if not all of his songs to this point. I love his music. I love his voice. It's very in tuning. And I also like his Among Us playthroughs. I'm not a huge fan of the horror stories, but that's just my honest opinion. You don't like everything. With gaining popularity, there's going to be people who don't like your content. Like me, I don't really like his horror story content. But there's also some people who are jealous of your popularity and want to take you off of your non-existent high horse. Now, when you're popular, it's a given. People aren't going to like your content, and that is an okay reason not to like the creator. Honestly, you don't have to like the creator or their content, but maybe you should keep those opinions separate. But there's people, especially trending on Twitter, that hate Corpse Husband himself because he's popular. Not because of the content, which he makes a lot of different kinds of content, but just because he is popular. And that's not really a good reason to not like a creator. Especially with cancel culture being a thing, it's very unlikely that you can gain popularity without being quote unquote canceled at some point. Like at one point, PewDiePie was canceled for having LGBT songs in his Spotify playlist. That is just ignorant. And because this cancel culture thing is gaining out of control, these people on Twitter are trying to cancel Corpse for literally no reason. One of the biggest reasons I've seen for trying to cancel Corpse is because he doesn't want to reveal his face. Corpse has said before that he doesn't feel comfortable showing his face on camera, on social media, and he refrains from showing his face. And I can understand that. I don't want strangers knowing what I look like, even if I'm popular, because it's not really important to my content. I don't want people comparing my face to my content in that's just not how I want to go. People are thinking and saying that Corpse is trying to hide something. He's so and so, he's blah blah blah, because he doesn't want to show his face. I think these people forgot that there's plenty of people on the internet who don't want to show their face. Like, look at most of the art and animation community. They mainly don't show their face. Sometimes they may show their face for like a subscriber special, but other than that, we kind of refrain from showing our faces because that's not really what our content is about. Some people, yes, their content does based around their face being shown, like a couple people who like review art products. Okay, maybe your face will be in camera. But there's people whose content isn't based on showing their face, like Corpse. He narrates horror stories. He makes music. His face being shown isn't really a requirement, and therefore he didn't want his face being connected to his content in a way negatively. So I get where he's coming from completely. And it's overall really stupid that they are trying to cancel him because he doesn't want to show his face, when there's a bunch of creators on the platform who also don't want to show their face, but they're not getting a backlash for it because they're probably not as popular. Even people who are as popular, maybe more popular, they don't want to show their face. That's their opinion. That's what they want to do. That's their opinion, that they don't want to show their face for any reason. Pretty much any reason is an acceptable reason not to want to show your face. People are also saying that Corpse is faking his voice, which he has clarified before that he is not. He actually has a medical condition called GERD that affects his vocal cords and makes his voice go super deep. And even if he's faking his voice, so what? Maybe he didn't want his voice to be recognized by someone who knows him in real life, and then like their face gets spread around or anything like that. Maybe he just didn't want his voice to be connected. Though I highly doubt that his voice is actually faked. And even if his voice was faked, his voice sounds nice. If you actually listen to his voice, it goes well with his music. It goes well with narrating horror stories like he intended to do in the first place. To his Among Us playthrough, it can be very ominous when he's an imposter because of the deep voice and all the noises he can make. He said before he likes making noises.
I just love making
Sakura,
noise
are
so
you
much.
innocent? Answer me. Answer me, Sakura.
That can scare people, which is kind of what he likes doing, I guess, when he has horror story narrating and being an imposter in Among Us, a game where you kill people, which is actually in the background of this video. I'm sorry for the poor quality. I play it on my phone. Don't judge me. I don't really have a computer. And once again, even if he was faking his voice, who cares? How many people do you think fake their voice on YouTube? Have you never heard of a voice actor? Look at SpongeBob from SpongeBob. Do you think that's his real voice in real life? That's not what his real voice sounds like. Look at Squidward. Do you think someone actually sounds like that in real life? No. Now let's go something more relevant. Jacksepticeye. He's a popular YouTuber. His first video on YouTube was an impersonation of Snake. If you listen to that video compared to his most recent video, that is not his real voice. That was a fake voice. And he actually prides himself on being able to do all these impersonations. That's not his real voice. Are you trying to cancel him? Yes, but not for the same reason as Corpse. Why would you want to cancel someone? Remove their platform. Remove their form of revenue from someone because they fake their voice. How idiotic does that sound? The final reason I want to talk about on why people are trying to cancel Corpse is because of one line of the song, E-Girls Are Ruining My Life, and it goes as follows. She said I kill her cat like I'm Luca Magnotta. People are taking this as offense to women. Like, I want to go to all the people who are saying this and ask, how many of them are actually women? How many of them are taking offense to women as a man? Like, that's like a straight person taking offense to the LGBT community for a joke made by someone of the LGBT community. Like, that doesn't really make sense. This is a little far-fetched, but it's like a 14-year-old white girl taking offense to a racist joke made of someone of the race that they're talking about online. Like, it doesn't really make sense. Overall, the line of that song means nothing. It's just the line of a song. It's not directed toward anyone. There's no secret meaning like all English teachers in high school plan out a book to be. There's no secret meaning. It's just a line of a song. And if you listen to the rest of the song, you think that's the worst line? Listen to the first couple lines of the song. Like, that's way worse. And if you take that line of the song, compare it to the rest, it fits. You actually could understand the meaning of that line. These people are just taking this line out of context and trying to make him seem like a bad person, a bad misogynist. Oh my god, of course now a train passes near my house. Thank you! Sorry if you hear a train in the background. There is a train going by if you couldn't tell. But in quite honestly, I can't believe that people are trying to cancel Corpse for no reason other than the fact that they're jealous of his popularity. Seeing on how his life was and what he's done with his channels, he honestly earned the fame that he got. I love his music. It's well made. I love his Among Us playthroughs. I like Corpse as a person. I love him as a creator. I'm not a huge fan of his horror stories, but that's my personal opinion. I'm not one for horror stories like that, the way he reads. And that's just an opinion. I don't hate his horror stories because I don't like his voice. I don't think he's hiding something. I'm fine with the line of that song. That song is one of my favorite songs that he's made, actually. It's actually the very first song of his I memorized all the words to. We all know that Twitter is awful. We all know it's awful. But this situation is one speck of sugar in a sugar plantation. It's honestly unbelievable, surprising how far the people of Twitter will go to get attention. And it's very well known on YouTube, on the platform itself. Everyone knows that Twitter sucks, and they acknowledge it. But then there's those couple people who don't care to spread their opinion, which is kind of what the app is for, but they don't know when to shut up when they need to. There's a couple more situations I plan to talk about in the future. A lot of them are based around Twitter, of course, because that's where a lot of the tea happens. But I think that'll end the video today. Thank you for watching and have a good night.